he's trying to explain to the interviewer why he stopped playing with Flaming Lips. Mm-hmm. And basically the short answer is creative differences. He wanted to start his own thing, venture out and spread his wings. The way he says it, and I'll warn you, it's 4 paragraphs long. Welcome to Every Album Ever with Mike and Alex. My name is Michael Mansour, and I'm joined, as always, in a new location with my handy, trusty, very psychedelic-looking co-host, Alexander Volts. Say hello.
Very nice. Very evil.
Very evil. Very nice. Yep. I saw that on I don't know what that means. I just read it on the back of your shirt.
Oh, it's Danhausen. I wanted to wear this shirt on the Steely Dan episode.
Steely Dang, man.
Yeah.
It's Every Album Ever, the podcast we listen to every single album in the world, one artist at a time. That's a new discography per episode. And today, we'll be discussing every album by
Mercury Rev.
Who, Alex?
It's new to me too.
Mercury Rev. This is requested on Patreon by Jason. Thank you so much for supporting us and giving us money, because everyone hates us, but you don't. And that means a lot to us. It means so goddamn much.
These things are important to me. And goddamn it, you're important to me.
And if you get that reference, then we love you as well. So first of all, I think a lot of people have been wanting this episode.
That's why
he's not the first person to request it. He's the first person to pay us to cover it. But other patrons have been like, "Oh fuck yeah, dude! Finally, fuck yeah, dude!"
Yeah, it makes sense, but also at the same time, I'm like, how did I go this long without giving them a listen?
I feel like it's the same reason I never gave Sparkle Horse a shot before. But check that episode out, by the way. And the Flaming Lips. I mean, I know the Flaming Lips. I like them. I don't love them the way a lot of people love them, but I think they're very good. And I haven't heard as many albums as I probably should have. But if you like them, you'll like this band, I imagine.
Well, I'm not sure. There's stuff I like here, and I like the Flaming Lips. You also have, with this band and the Flaming Lips, what came first? Chicken or the egg?
I think Flaming Lips came first.
Well, we'll get into it.
Because what's to say? Jonathan Donahue started in Flaming Lips, and then
he was in there. But then one album, Mercury Rev, had like the leg up.
Did they
on the Flaming Lips? It's
because the way he talks about it in his interview, it's like he started with them and then went his own way to start Mercury Rev.
He was
playing with. No, Grasshopper and Dave. We're going into the history before we even talk about.
Sorry, yeah. That's why I said we'll get into it.
If you want to support us, I don't know why you'd want to support us. You know what? Support us anyway. Like the video if you like the video. Hate it if you're a piece of shit. I don't care. Leave comments. Talk shit. Please, just talk. That's important. Subscribe if you want. Tell your friends if you want. It's all stuff that will help us out, help us get seen. You can also avoid doing all that, but I really prefer you didn't avoid doing all that. Why do I keep giving you the option to not do it? You don't have an option here. You do it. All right. Sorry. You can find a Mercury Rev playlist, link in the description. We play playlists associated with every single episode that we do. You can find all of those at everyalbumever.com. And of course, the same way Jason got us to do this episode, patreon.com/everyalbumever. That's where you get a bunch of bonus episodes, tons of bonus episodes, discounts off merch. You get to see our schedule in advance. You get to vote on polls to decide who we're going to cover next. By the time this comes out, we might have already closed the second poll, and I might not be happy with the result.
I need to get the update on that because
I think I'm not happy with. It's a good result. They're all great bands. Yeah. They're all great bands, but there was one I wanted to win that I don't think is going to win. Came close.
Yeah,
I don't know yet. We'll see.
All these polls have been pretty close.
They've been exciting.
Yeah.
And then also, if you're tier 2, bigger than Jesus, that means you can actually request artists for us, and then we'll actually cover it. We have so many actual Patreon requests at this point, so even if you do pledge, it'll take us a while to get to it, but it guarantees your foot's in the door. It will get done.
Yes.
Whereas before, it usually wouldn't get done. It's just the way it is. But thank you, and they don't go and do that and go. Okay. Back to the band.
Yes.
So
core 2 members,
Grasshopper, Shine. Of course, I fucking forgot his name. Sean. Oh my god, I know how to pronounce it. I know how to pronounce it. Hold on. I'm such Makowiak.
Yes.
Sean McCoyak. You throw that many K's and that many W's in a fucking name, I'm out.
It's a mess. It's a mess. But yeah, he is guitar, keyboard, as well as a number of instruments. And then Jonathan Donahue, who is vocals, guitar, I would say those are like the two consistent members who are. Yeah. And then also very important to very important.
Dave Fridmann, the fucking man. Yes. The reason I like this band so much is Dave Fridmann.
Yes.
That guy is so good.
So my understanding was that he is kind of why they all sound so similar. All being Mercury Rev and Flaming Lips. And so the thing I was talking about was Deserter Songs.
Yeah.
Was
very big album.
Kind of able to get the leg up on the Flaming Lips, or maybe the Flaming Lips had existed longer and had a few more albums.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah.
But sonically, the way that sounded.
Oh, I thought you meant just who existed first.
No. Well, more like this like psychedelic alternative.
The style you mean?
Yes, sound that both bands are very similar.
Okay.
That's kind of what I was getting into.
Oh, yeah. The Flaming Lips predated them by several years. But with the style, I don't never listened to them that much.
Yeah, there's like almost different eras of the Flaming Lips.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so,
I would blame that on you got to blame it on Dave Fridmann. If I had to guess, as a guy who has only heard every album by this band, but only a few by Flaming Lips.
Yes, he is the key, as well as it does sound like very incestuous too. Like, hey, we were in their studio, they were in our studio,
and it's sexy as hell. Well, some of it is, but. It's like, man, this band, like I went expecting lukewarm, expecting to be like, all right, I get the style. I don't love it. I get why people like it. I came out, I was like, God damn, that's actually fucking great. And I came out really happy with some stuff very angry, some stuff furious. But for the most part, I would say this is a great band.
I didn't really get too mad. I think I need to digest it a bit more. There's definitely like 3 or 4 albums I'm going to revisit.
There's at least 4 or 5 really, really, really good albums, that's solid.
That's pretty solid, yes.
Yeah, considering a lot of the longer discographies that we've covered in the past, that's not bad.
Yeah, even like some of their more like poorly rated albums critically.
I have so much to say, dude. I have so much fucking vitriol for the world, man. I fucking hate the world. And this is why I refuse to call myself a critic or a reviewer of any kind, because go fuck yourself. I don't care what these fucking nobody. You should, the same way you shouldn't care what I fucking think. Don't care what any critic thinks. Like, anyway, listen to it for your fucking self, man. These people put their souls in this music. Sorry. I'm getting heated.
Yeah, some of these albums have bad reviews, and I listen to them, and I'm like,
great albums.
Not so bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. So, very interesting, dense start to finish. Just, I apologize to any like super fans if I'm kidding. I apologize to you. I don't know what you're gonna say, but I apologize to you. But go on. Yeah, this is a very dense, full band that even as today, I'm like, oh shit, I hope I can be on top of it, because we're going to do like 12, 13 albums here.
Yeah.
It was dense.
It's very dense. And also, this is a band that is almost guaranteed going to put out another album at some point.
Oh, for sure, yes.
But they do take some hefty breaks in between.
Yes, this is a, we've kind of softened our rules a little, and this was Patreon requested, so
yeah, we'll cover them now. If they put out a new album, Loose Ends, we'll get a Loose Ends episode.
Yes, but thankfully they are a band I would gladly do a Loose Ends song.
I like them as a band and as people. I don't know if I'll be excited for a new album at this point. But the important thing about this band is that you cannot predict the next album. That's what I think is impressive.
I wouldn't be over the moon for it, but as far as creating content and recording episodes, I'd be like, fuck yeah, let's.
That's one reason.
Yeah,
but every fucking album does except from a couple, that are back to back that share some similarities, for the most part, they'll take a wild left turn randomly, and most of the time I'd say it works. Sometimes I don't like it, but most of the time it's always, at the very, very least, extremely carefully done.
Yeah. Yeah, it does kind of feel like they do things in twos. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like whenever they get a new sound, it's like, okay, the next one will sound like it. And then there's really only like one like transitional album. And then the rest is like, okay, you're going to get these like solid 2 album blocks where it's kind of the same. And then they'll venture on to different things.
So our history guy, Tom, you can follow him in all the places. Tom Osman Sounds on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. He does all our research for us because he's a good man. He's a very good man. He compiled a bunch of stuff, a bunch of information from a couple of interviews from Jonathan and Grasshopper. And it's basically both of them going through the entire career of Mercury Rev.
Yes.
And it's interesting because just the way Jonathan speaks is like, oh yeah, of course he's the guy from Mercury Rev. He speaks in such a whimsical storybook fantasy, like no one in the world actually talks,
talks like that
unless they're always on mushrooms. That is, which I assume he has to be. It's actually kind of fun.
I found it kind of annoying.
It is annoying. No, it is annoying after a while. But the fact that that's who he is,
yes,
and I believe him.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he's just acting like that to be douchey. I think he's trying to be a certain kind of character. I think that's who he is.
Sure,
which is it's kind of endearing in a way. It's a little bit obnoxious from outside.
It's not an act. It's not a gimmick with this guy. He's the real deal.
This dude brings it. And my favorite example of this is he's trying to explain to the interviewer why he stopped playing with Flaming Lips. And basically the short answer is creative differences. He wanted to start his own thing, venture out and spread his wings. The way he says it, and I'll warn you, it's 4 paragraphs long. Okay.
God damn it.
This is the quote. What I can say is that from my point of view, there became a wind at my back that seemed much greater than anything I could put my finger on. It was one of those life winds that just blow you in a different direction, even though your compass and your charts say you're going this way. For some reason, the winds took me in another way, and it was very bewildering when it happened because I love the band. I love being in the band. I felt at home in the band. I felt that was a real part of the music they were making. But there was something behind me, that invisible arm pushing you out the door on the first day of school. And all you're doing is looking back and saying, I don't know, I don't want to go. I don't want to leave home. I don't. This is what I love being here. And there's a mother behind you saying, this is a bigger part of life. It took me a while to process that, you know?
Dude, it sounded
End quote, by the way.
It sounded like you were transcribing anime dialogue as well.
That is who we're dealing with here.
Yes.
This is who this fucking guy is.
Yes. Every quote is.
It's something else. But for the background, did you take like spark notes on our big notes?
Yeah, it's
like how they formed and stuff. Because Grasshopper and Dave Fridmann known each other since high school.
Yeah.
Apparently they played their first band. I think their first band. It was called the People's Front, which they got the name from Monty Python's Life of Brian, the People's Front of Judea, which is
they fucking would.
Awesome. It's fucking hilarious. I love them for that. It's a great movie. Everyone watched fucking Life of Brian. And yeah, I think Fridmann went on to go to school for sound engineering, which explains a lot.
Yes.
Homeboy
Why
is a very busy producer.
Yes. Well, I'm going to wait till we get into it, but yeah, that would explain like first album out the gate sounds great. None of those like Growing Pains production.
I disagree 1,000,000 fucking %.
Really?
We'll get into it. And
I mean, it gets better, but
oh yeah, for sure.
It's not. But yeah, also in these early days, you have Jimmy Chambers on drums and Susan Thorpe on flute, who seemed to have been a big collaborator early on with the band.
Yeah, that's basically the very beginnings of it. And yeah, so everything we talk about history-wise is all taken from Tom. He's the fucking man. He churns out all this information. He really does his homework, and he does it very quickly. we have episodes we haven't even started yet. He's completely done with all the work notes of them.
Nice.
He's faster than we are. You should all check out all his work on Substack, which is tomosman.substack.com. Tom Osman's whatever comes next, and then his album, his So Much for All in a Day's Work, which you can find on Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp. You can find all that shit in the description. Go listen to his music, go support his stuff. He's a good dude, and he's very good at what he does. But if you're ready to start the albums,
I am ready.
here is I'm buying time because I know there's just so many fucking albums. This is gonna be for a while.
You should be doing the opposite. You should be giving away time.
I'm not. So anyway, Mercury put out 11 albums in their very beefy and still active career. First album came out in 1991. Last one, as of this recording, 2019. So, are we ready?
I'm ready to get into this.
Alrighty, here we go, everybody. This is 1991's Yerself Is Steam. I'm an idiot. I just got what the album title was.
Really?
When I said it out loud right now. I'm out. So I'm leaving, dude. I gotta go. I'm clearly not qualified.
And I was worried about being on top of the ball. I saw it. I was like, is that like a play on like Cat Stevens, like Yerself Islam name or something? And then I said it out loud.
All I had to do is say it out loud.
Yeah.
And
Lovers, gallon red flocks of mellow seducers, find eager seekers.
this is so 1991 indie.
It is, but it also
From above, and we're all aglow.
I don't know what I was expecting from this, but I wasn't.
Hold on to its legs.
Maybe crank it at like one or two. Yeah.
Feel no
I wasn't
my primitive.
like. It kind of reminds me of like Butthole Surfers a little bit.
Really?
Macy.
This reminds me more of like Sebadoh,
Yourself.
Pavement kind of stuff.
Yeah, maybe because I never got into that, but
It's a pretty specific style.
Yeah,
It feels
for
a certain
sure.
way. And this is much noisier. Not heavier, just noisier.
Yes.
As you can hear already, it's a little whooshy. But this song does rule.
So yeah, I wasn't really sure what we were getting into, but solid song.
Solid song. This is more or less what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting the rest of the discography, honestly. On vocals, that's David Baker. David Baker. I can't say
David Baker.
I keep wanting to say Becker, but I know it's Baker. Anyway, Baker, who will leave after 2 albums. So don't get used to this style of vocal.
Are so inviting.
I was a little worried that they would be too samey, but that's not the case.
I feel like for this album, it is. I don't love this album at all.
I like it. It kept me interested.
This one, sorry, keep going.
Pretty much start from finish. I was just like, what's going on here? What do we got? What do we got going on here? And yeah, I liked it quite a bit.
This, because before we started the discography, you had listened to it already. You gave it a once over just to see what we were doing.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, don't worry, it's good. I was like, oh, great.
Yeah.
And I put it, I was like, oh man.
No?
I was like, it's not bad. It's just, I feel like the other bands that I named, like Pavement and Sebadoh, did this kind of style better.
Sure.
But not just like just because I prefer them as bands. I specifically hate the way this album is produced because it fucking hurts my ears. Like I was
Interesting.
listening to this in the car,
Yeah.
which is everything's pretty balanced in the car. I was on the freeway and I had to fucking lower it because it was hurting.
There is some noise here, and like I was even more shocked finding out it was the senior project for Dave Fridmann.
It's right, yeah.
And yeah, I think, we've listened to a lot of rough like first albums where, especially with like punk bands or metal bands, where it's just like, oh man, that's some hard times there. But
For sure.
But this is like pretty acceptable for what is here. And yeah, there's a lot of noise throughout. It does that
A lot of noise.
balancing act of the alternative indie style with just like big noise stuff.
The noise stuff is what bothers me because I love me some noise, all right? I love me some noise. But noise that allows me to hear the noise, like this feels the production, because like I'll talk about the songs themselves separately, but like the production, it's like the bedrock of the entire album is just feedback. And they're putting songs on top of feedback.
Yeah.
So while that in concept, I think that's very cool because it has this, it's something that always feels loud and noisy, even when it's not. It ends up fucking just distracting me. The whole album is just distracting.
Interesting.
I'm trying my damnedest to focus on these songs, which I don't love the songs either, by the way, but I don't hate them.
Yeah.
And I'm just fucking irritated by the noise. And that's a weird sentence for me because arguably out of the two of us, I listen to the noisiest shit.
You do, yeah.
Like the most abrasive, dumb shit.
Yeah, like, you have a song like Blue and Black. I was pretty taken aback by how pretty that is on this like feedback noise album.
It is interesting. It's very quiet, super moody. And so technically at this point, Jonathan and Becker are both doing vocals, but you could really, it's mostly Becker that you're noticing.
Sure.
And his voice is
a little more,
he's
deeper.
He's a deep voice, but he's not like, I don't know. He's not a fucking Ian Curtis or something. Even Curtis doesn't have a deep voice. He just sings like a deep voice.
He's not Barry White.
No. Yes, exactly. Someone with a beautiful, lovely bass. But on that song, they are funny. They are so silly. They are so dumb on that song. It's ridiculous. And also it's unlike anything that you will ever hear ever again. On that song, no one will like that song is a unique song in the entire career.
Yeah. I think my favorite song on here though is Sweet Odyssey of a Cancer Cell.
Really.
This feels like this big, like Godspeed song.
It is the biggest and spaciest.
Yeah, like it really earns that Odyssey title. And yeah, like you said, it's like grounded in feedback, but I do like it is like bouncing around a bit.
That song has the moments where it goes big are spectacular. I think that's how I feel about almost every song on here. The moments where it does something a little bit more adventurous, a little bit bigger. I'm sold.
Sure.
And it's the rest. It's always the in between the either underwhelming or it's just bleeding with the rest because the entire album is major key, happy, uplifting, sort of sappy sometimes. There's no darkness on this album. Or the next one, really.
That would become a problem for me later on, but right now I'm cool with it. The way the music is presented and performed, I'm fine with the peaks and valleys. It is very 90s, like you said.
For sure.
But I think it's a cool little like diamond in the rough of the 90s, or like these weird bands that exist but people don't really know about it. It's like up there with like Brainiac for me in terms of like, oh hey, there's this like thing like right under the surface that's right there, but not a lot of people are talking about it.
Interesting. So let me just ask one more thing. Before I even ask, these are long songs, by the way.
Oh, yes.
This is not a breeze of an album. It's a 50-minute album. Each song is pretty fucking beefy. And I got to ask about the beefiest. What do you think of Very Sleepy Rivers?
I would like that song if it was 1,000% shorter.
It is 12 minutes. I think it's my favorite song on the album.
Really? Like,
I'm so surprised you don't like it.
There's a lot of there's some like really cool stuff on there. It's just like fatigue set in for me.
I get it. I mean, because it is a lengthy album. Also, we have a fucking hidden bonus track for the streaming version, which is Car Wash Share, which was released on an EP after this. And but Very Sleepy Rivers, I think out of the whole album, it's the only one that really felt different. And at that point, like, I don't even fucking care if it's 12 minutes. I already listened to fucking 38 of the same kind of song. I'm down for a little bit of the 12 minutes or something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one is one of my lesser favorites, even though after listening to the whole discography, because I had a very I didn't listen to this discography the way I usually listen for episodes because life is hectic and I didn't have a lot of time. So I listened to basically every single album in a row without taking any notes.
Okay.
Not in one day, but over the course of like a week.
Sure.
So I had to go back to take notes again, and going back to this album after hearing the whole discography is way different.
Oh, sure.
It's such a weird thing. Like things that I missed that I wish they still did are on this album. I missed fucking Becker's voice like a lot.
Yeah. And
it's so weird. It's also very refreshing when you see a band evolve so much.
And in real time, this has been a little bit since we've got back together. So like,
yeah, it's been a couple weeks. I
did my due diligence, but it's been a while, and I like kind of crammed these over the weekend to make sure I was still familiar with them. And I don't know if we like rank them. This is like upper tier Mercury Rev for me.
I think it became higher on the list after I listened to everything a few times.
Sure.
Not that I hate things more. Well, I do hate things more for sure, but not that I hate those so much that this became higher. It's just the appreciation for, because also I do love this style. I love this fucking early 90s indie shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like death metal in sound, but it is like death metal in the fact that I can't pitch it to people. I can't explain why I like it. It just feels nice to me. I just enjoy it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
But anyway, we have 10 more to go. So let's move this on. I swear to God, if I pronounce this wrong, I'm going to fucking stab myself in my knee right now.
I don't even know how to pronounce.
I believe this is 1993's Boces. Flames on. God damn it. Part of me really wants to say Boces.
Boces, yeah, I think.
Jim Boces. Yeah, stupid. So as you can hear from those horns, we're still playing with some happy songs.
Now we're venturing on like way more whimsical.
They're bringing in. Also, if you were to go on any Wikipedia of any album by this band, or check any of the liner notes, just look at the personnel and all the people playing instruments, and you'll get angry because apparently Jimmy Chambers plays the Atlas Sweepstakes, and Grasshopper also plays the licorice stick. So who knows what the fuck they're doing?
Who knows? So this isn't one of my favorite songs.
I get it. I like it. It's 10 minutes long, and it's a bit much for an opener. I do enjoy it.
I do like appreciate the like composition though, and like how it's built out. So there's that. Yeah, I don't think we could, I don't even know if we can, like, play enough of the song.
There is no chance we could play enough of the song.
To, like...
Because at around 7 or 8 minutes, it gets real good.
Yeah, you're in a different place.
Yeah, this is not too bad. This actually does feel more like an opener than the last record, I feel like.
I get that, yeah. It's like sets a tone. And yeah.
All right. Let's do a little chit-chat, wick. What's going on?
Unrelated to the album, but a funny story. Did you read about the Lollapalooza fiasco?
Did not. Is this recent?
No.
Do they have Lollapalooza still?
I think they do. Yes, they do. So, during a Lollapalooza stop in Denver while touring either before or after this, I believe they were playing Very Sleepy River when it happened.
Ooh.
The mayor shut the band down because it was so fucking loud.
I do remember that. Yes. Yes.
And it wasn't just the mayor, because they were on a side stage playing.
The mayor says it's too loud. You gotta shut it down.
Gotta shut it down. So they were playing a side stage the same time Tool was playing, and they were louder than fucking Tool, and they pissed off Tool.
First of all, to see Maynard pissed off would be the funnest thing ever.
Yeah.
I mean, any member of Tool, but that is hilarious. It also shows that these guys were dickheads with the feedback. I told you, it wasn't just me.
From the way they said it, it wasn't like intentional. It just kind of sounded like, oh, that's just how we play. We didn't know. And like, yeah, their manager was like, get the fuck off the stage. And they were like sending like these huge security guards and like taking the sound guy away and like throwing their instruments off stage.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And their manager's just like, get on the bus. They're going to like beat the crap out of you. So like,
oh, wow. Hey, that's justice, everybody. That's the fucking government doing what the government does.
Well, yeah.
Remember that.
I mean, it sounds like a mixture of things. I don't know, because it sounds like a dick move for like, can you just be like, hey, to the sound guy, you guys got to turn it down.
It's a simple request. It's a fucking simple request.
Yeah.
Especially when it's in a giant, massive event like that. Like, yeah, they have, there are steps to take. It's not like they're not fucking anarchists. They're not going to like say, fuck you, man. No,
yeah.
Mayor.
No, these elf like.
I read you the quote. This dude is harmless. I mean, what do you think he's gonna do?
So yeah, I don't know how much of it was like the city and the security being assholes. Like who? Yeah. But just
I blame the government, and I also blame. I'm assuming the security guys who were probably paid a little extra on the table. Take care of business, make sure real nice and
yeah. Go bust up some unions, things like that. Yeah. But anyways, interesting little story.
That was very interesting story.
History of the band.
Good album. I actually do like it a lot more than the last one. I think it does more things. It's so much bigger. There's so many fucking instruments on here.
I would say that too. Not on like my first listen, but second listen, I can definitely notice there's a trajectory towards bigger and better things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I do think it's it kind of peters out toward the end, which hurts a lot because the end is like 20 minutes long. Like the final 3 songs are literally 20 minutes combined.
Yeah.
And those are all pretty rough for me.
Yeah, I guess because one of the highlights for me was Snorri Mouth.
Really?
Yeah.
That's where the album starts to
interesting
because it's another 11-minute song.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like at that point in the album, especially at that length,
it's too much.
No, it's just not. It doesn't do enough to distinguish itself. It feels so much like the rest. Again, it's the same problem I had with the last one, really.
Yeah. But yeah, this one does feel a little more dreamy, whimsical, like we played with the opener. But yeah. I don't know. I think the closer Griffin is pretty wild. It sounds like it could be in a like David Lynch movie. It
feels like a joke song.
Yeah, it's a joke song. There's these like cool jazzy things. There's like scatting going on.
It annoys the piss out of me, honestly. I'm fucking not a fan. But if we're talking about the jazzy stuff, I'm a huge fucking fan of Boys Peel Out.
Oh yeah, that's a good song.
Super duper gentle, but still really upbeat. The jazz drums are fucking very nice. And this is, they might have had some on the last album as well, but this is like where you start to notice Mercury Rev and their bells.
Oh yeah,
they love their bells, and there's bells all over that song. It's very nice, and I usually actually mostly like how they do bells. It always feels very unique to them, and it's very, again, whimsical kind of texture. At some point, I hate them for the bells. I fucking hate them for the goddamn bells. But for now and for a lot of albums, I'm on board.
Fine. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know if it's bells or like a xylophone on that song, but the outro is really nice.
Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Another minimal one is Down's Our Feminine Balloons. A lot of flutes and stuff, a lot of really good percussion, guitar centric, but it's just minimal. It's very pretty.
Also, sometimes I find flutes annoying. That song, soothing flutes.
I don't think I've ever found flutes annoying with this band. I love the
somehow they crack some code.
They're just fucking, they were made to have orchestral instruments.
Yeah.
And while there's not, it doesn't feel very orchestral here. They're still there. And then when they get more orchestral, it feels so natural. It's like, I trust guys like these to do flutes.
Yeah.
You don't trust everyone to do flutes.
No. But if David Fridmann is involved,
Hell yeah.
sign me up.
Hell yeah. So the production on here, because I was complaining so much about the last one, I don't like it on this one much either. I do think it's better, but like a more of a small step than a leap. I think the worst production, or the most noticeably bad production, is on Trickle Down, because it has these really great driving bass lines, but it's the guitar and drums are just fucking buried, and the vocals are twice as loud as everything else. And it's so fun because like halfway through it kind of falls apart and then picks itself up and starts up again. It's a great song, almost completely ruined by the production for me.
Let me tell you, when it turns into a noisy mess, and I got a timestamp.
Hell yeah.
So I'm glad you brought it up. This to get a taste of the production.
It's all noise and screaming.
Yeah. I love these like harmonics on the guitar. Yeah.
I like it too if they weren't louder than everything else.
Yeah.
Drums should be louder.
I don't know. It works for me.
It's just so uneven.
Oh man.
It's again. I like the song. It's so fucking unbalanced.
Pretty unhinged.
It is a cool fucking song though. Yeah, it's a good album. This is the last album that they'll do that will sound like this.
But yeah, this is the last one with
Dave Becker.
Yes.
And what does old Jonathan say about him leaving the band? Here's the quote, everybody. Quote, "There was a parting of ways. It was very mutual. There was no giant row." Is that the right word? Could have been a mistype. There was no one incident, but I think it had to do with David looking for a different musical fireplace, sort of to sit beside. I think for myself and Grasshopper, we were actually enamored with a more melodic side to music at the time. So when you're referring to musical endeavors as fireplaces,
yes.
I want to hug you and punch you in the fucking face. Like, I can't decide. I don't know. You make me feel all kinds of things.
I met this dude at a party. He better be charming as shit.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
if he is, I'm yours. I'm yours, Mr. Donahue.
Yes.
But yeah, so clearly, they want to go in a bit more musical direction. It seems like through the context that Baker was the one making the band super duper noisy. Because you look at one album later and they're never going to be this again.
It gets different. Yes.
Very different from here on out. But I think it's time for that.
Yes.
At the moment. So here we go, everybody. Here we go. This is 1995's See You on the Other Side.
I stabbed myself back into the night. One heel in front, one heel behind. Life in the Empire State. Life in the Empire State. Angels and devils before.
So that's Jonathan on vocals now, who has a much softer voice,
Very sparkle horse, Wayne Cohen.
except way weaker than those singers, in my opinion.
Life in the Empire State.
It on other albums it can become a problem.
It can, and it does. I don't think here so much. And this song does take a while to build up, but we're going to let it build up. Because already we're getting some very, very tasteful instrumentation. Oh, God. Oh, goodness. This feels so good.
Yeah.
It feels so good. Those flutes. Hell yeah.
Just-
Oh, I love this song. If you listen, for everyone, if you just listen, I mean, when I'm not talking, listen behind the vocals. There are so many little things happening.
Yes. This album is not just this song, pretty much every song.
Yeah. How long is this song?
It's pretty fucking
I
long.
imagine it's very long. It's like 7 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not gonna get to all the meat of it, but I want to leave it a little in case you miss something juicy. Oh, those
Just
bass lines.
so cool. Yeah.
This is, and there's so much I want to talk about the bass lines because this is kind of where they start taking off.
Yeah.
Best personal favorite.
Oh, wow. Let me tell you, I was not expecting to give this, this was hard for me to divvy up my picks. Personal favorite.
This one fucking rules. This is the album I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Also, finding out that this album kind of broke the band, sent them down I
Broke my fucking heart, dude. This is why I hate the world, because they put everything they had into this album. They put so much time and work and love into it.
Yeah.
And it got shat on, and they all spiraled into fucking drugs and alcohol.
This is probably like the most diverse album. Like you get something a little different with every song. And it's so crazy. Like has to be like hands down one of the strongest like transitional albums.
Yeah.
Where it's like you listen to bands and you're like, okay, they're like stretching their muscles.
Yeah.
They're gonna be all right. This is just like
They were holding this in for years. It felt like.
yeah, like oh, you guys got it.
Oh,
First try. You guys got it. First try.
That's what like the orchestral instrument, like this is where they start bringing their orchestral shit in. It's like, oh my God, it's so fucking well done. Like and also not just the pretty symphonic shit. Like Young Man's Stride is the heaviest thing they've done at this point, and it fucking rules too.
Yeah, it's almost like cliche, like heavy psychedelia, but it works. It's
Hell
just like it feels good.
And also Jonathan's voice sounds pretty good on here. Like in the first few, like this album and the next one, and maybe the one after, but mostly these two, I think he's pretty rough. He's like pitchy, and he has a weak voice, obviously, but he's like not developed at all, so he can't even hit the right notes as often as I guess you probably expect. But it's mixed well, so it doesn't like feel like a distraction. And the songs are so fucking good, it doesn't even matter. Like when everything else is so powerful, you can have a weak element in there. It doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt anything. That's how I feel about this whole album. Because, and again, about the diversity, shit, man. Like Sudden Ray of Hope is like it's like an indie soul song.
It is.
Jesus Christ,
soul vocals on there, or no, sorry, it's like soul music, and then you have like the psychedelic vocals.
You got the fucking those saxes on there too.
Oh
which
yeah,
actually work.
It kind of like ventures into like King Crimson prog rock territory, and it's just like what a crazy like balancing act they're doing here.
I absolutely love Racing the Tide. I don't know.
Oh, you like those Chuck Mangione horns on there? That's what it is.
Just because it feels so good. But that one, I don't know what that. Maybe you should put it. No, I don't know, because that I don't know what that instrument is on the main riff, but it sounds like some kind of synth. It's always in my head. It's been in my head for the past 2 weeks.
You got a timestamp, or
it is the main riff?
It's the main riff. Should I just kind of pull it up and fast forward a little?
If it has a lengthy intro, you can fast forward, but it's like the main riff.
We're doing Racing the Tide here. That's the
yes. Yeah, it's past it. You passed it. It's the very beginning.
Oh,
very
it's
beginning. Yeah, just let it play.
Okay.
That.
Oh.
This is gonna play in every dream I have from now on.
It's very like dreamy.
It is.
I could see it being like a Yellow Magic Orchestra song in a different world.
In a different world.
Yeah.
I'm almost
This song is fucking gorgeous. And then toward the end, it goes all crazy psychedelic with these like those like a lot of Eastern influence, like psychedelic Eastern. But what I love about it is that oftentimes when you hear someone trying the Eastern sounding psychedelic thing, it just becomes the cliche Eastern sounding psychedelic. This is still musical. It is still them making unique melodies, just happening. They just happen to be using that style.
Yeah, they have room to play around in there.
Exactly. Yes. What else is fucking great? I love every song on this album. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kiss from No Flame. It's like jazzy and tropical.
But like in a good way. Usually,
Yes.
usually like the tropical stuff is very like tiresome to me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, hey, I'm for it.
There were two examples of tropical where it just makes me wish I loved tropical because the way they make me feel. It's that song and Goodbye Sober Day from Mr. Bungle. Like those two, these two tropical sounding things like, oh, that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Yeah, those are the two right there.
But yeah, this fucking rules. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
I'll just say for like how much they use horns on here, I was not expecting to, like, if you described this album to me, I'd be like, I probably won't like that. But little surprised here.
Also, it's like a lot of French horns, which is, I forget who plays the French horns
They're
on.
probably credited as a wacky made up.
No, it's Susan Thorpe.
Okay, she's still here.
Suzanne Thorpe, sorry.
She's still here doing work.
Yeah, she's the flutes person. She's the French horn person, and that's wonderful. Because I do think French horns are you hear plenty of trumpets. You hear, well, depending on the type of music, I guess, but I think in like rock music, you hear a lot of loud, bright horns. You don't hear so much of the French softer horns. But so back to like about the disaster that was this album.
Yes, sales were disappointing.
Oh my God.
So much so that the band requested to be dropped from their label.
That's the most masochistic thing I've ever heard. Like,
That's
please,
insane.
we don't deserve you.
From a guy named Grasshopper, that kind of makes sense. Their manager left. Drummer Jimmy Chambers left. Their lawyers were let go.
Holy fuck.
And the band was in debt. Like, holy shit.
I mean, what the fuck do you want, world? We gave you, they gave you a phenomenal album and you stabbed them in their face.
Yeah. Caused Donahue to go into a deep, deep depression.
Yep.
Which makes sense.
This is what makes me so sad. Like, it's Jonathan talking the way he does, but this is why I like him, because he can kind of, in a douchey way, create a fucking vivid picture. He says, quote, we had put everything we had into it. I mean, it was really a childlike record, and that it was a children's record. It was conjure up all these images Grasshopper and myself had from childhood, these melodies and these sort of half-forgotten songs from radio stations used to have in America. And he starts talking about the more specifically, like, but the fact that, like, oh yeah, this was so deep
and like innocent.
Exactly. It's like they were just doing what they loved, what they remember from when they were kids. It's like such a pure album, and no one appreciated it.
Yeah.
And I get if it blew to not like. I don't care how sincere it is. If I don't like it, you're not going to force yourself to like it.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with this album. It's just fucking weird, man. Wrong time. I'm assuming it's got to be a wrong time.
It's got to be bad timing. Wrong place, wrong time.
I mean, I imagine maybe there's one new Mercury Rev fan listening to this still, but what do like fans think? Because this is
I would be interested in knowing that, because we're coming up on a big one in a bit here. So
yeah, because this one never gets brought up, and I think even Jonathan says, I'm going to try to find the quote exactly. Damn it, I can't find it. Damn, I can't find it. But basically, I'll paraphrase it. He said that I think he still thinks like there's a lot of strong stuff on this album, which there are, and that fans will still point to a lot of this as being really good, but not that many.
They're crazy.
It's insane. Like, coming in blind, this stuck out so much as like, holy shit, this is above and beyond.
And like, I say this as someone who liked that first album. Like, it sounds like the album they were trying to make with their first 2 efforts.
Without a deep voiced man making things noisy. Not that that was bad, but also the writing here is different. These songs feel different. They're not just major key, happy, poppy stuff the whole way through. There's different feels, there's different moods. It's a whole spectrum of emotions, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
I just love it. But anyway, my best personal favorite, Alex's personal favorite. But we got a whole bunch more to go and a lot more famous albums to go. So, you ready?
I'm ready for the big one.
Here's the big one, everybody. This is 1998's Deserters Songs.
I thought it was interesting that
maybe one beep.
that they leaned into the children's music on this album, and then again on this album, and you just get 2 totally different things, but kind of with the same building blocks.
You got it. This is an undeniable intro, an undeniable song. I fucking say what you want about his voice right here, but this song is so goddamn good.
This is when we get to the you and the Flaming Lips. Someone's copying someone's homework here.
They're all buddies, man. They're all friends.
That's what I mean.
It's like that weird influence, but very similar.
Yes,
very similar. God, it's so fucking beautiful.
It's so interesting because it seemed like it had an impact in '98, but like almost like the world has kind of moved on from it. Like I see all the critical acclaim and the accolades it has, but I don't feel like it's really like bought up retroactively.
I've never heard these songs anywhere else.
Yeah,
I've never heard them in movies or TV shows or anything. Where this song, I feel like should be in all kinds of shit. It has the aesthetic of so many things that are popular in culture right now.
Oh, if this was a Flaming Lips,
lower it maybe one beat.
If this was a Flaming Lips song, it would have.
Yeah. So this song, I think, is where it became obvious, and for the next few albums, Dave's fucking bass lines. Oh, I'm gonna stop talking.
Is that a fucking theremin?
I'm only listening to the bass lines right now. Like, they're just busy enough, but I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Jesus Christ. Dave's bass lines, like, game changer. Like, he's the king of this band. I think he's the fucking king.
He's the rock. Yeah.
I haven't heard of anyone write bass lines like this in so long. Like, where it's not necessarily like a bad song without those bass lines, but just the specific choices that he makes open everything up. It makes you feel it more. They're busy, but they're not like walking all over the place and not stepping on anybody's toes.
This is perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, Donahue, deep depression. Band wasn't talking, but these guys, Chemical Brothers, who we talked very fondly on the Beastie Boys episode.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, we like Mercury Rev." He's like, "No one likes their band. What's going on?"
Damn, fucking Paul's Boutique.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay.
They were like, "We love Mercury Rev. We think you should do a song with us," and that gave Donahue some confidence.
That's so sweet.
He's like, "You guys, there are people who like us.
Yeah,
there is a place for Mercury Rev in the world." It's kind of like a rekindling of his friendship with Grasshopper, who like checked into some like weird spiritual
that's right,
thing too. So yeah, I think like the story of this album is kind of beautiful, with like the Chemical Brothers reaching out and giving help building up Donahue's confidence, and like him and Grasshopper this like becoming friends again. It's a nice little story.
It is quite
except for
nice.
the drug usage.
What exactly what drugs did they do? I wonder if
I don't know specifically what they
well our old history guy Tom he really wanted to know. So
yeah.
I think the quote from Jonathan is quote, "It took a number of cliches, the alcohol and the substances, but these were just incidental to really what was being crushed inside. Those weren't the reasons for the dive to the bottom, down to the bottom at all. It was self-doubt. It was self-loathing. This is you. This is my music." This is Grasshopper's music. He rambles on, and I'm going to end the quote there. But it was just sort of like I don't know, like the substances were more just a side effect, I guess,
of the
depression, and then the being crushed by everything.
Become things that feed into each other at that point. Yeah.
But this album seemed to do well.
Yes.
And I don't like it as much, but I still think it's a very good album.
On the first listen, I was like, I get it. And like to a point where I had to go and listen to the Flaming Lips album, Transmissions from whatever heart thing. I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
So
they got wacky names.
Because I had to know what was going on there. And then like I read the quotes about them kind of like popping in and out of the studio while they were going on. And
it's funny, but at the beginning I said this isn't you. I haven't heard this in any movies. It was literally used. Well, to be fair, Holes was in a 2000 movie called Panic with William H. Macy and Nev Campbell.
Yes.
But Opus 40 was used in 2020 in the Love and Monsters soundtrack, which I've never watched. I will never watch. I can't imagine it's any good, but it is being used in movies still.
Yes. And then I saw the song Holes was used in that children's movie Sing 2.
Sing 2?
It's like American Idol, but with anthropomorphic animals.
That sounds awful.
I have no beef in that. I'm gonna stay out of that.
All right, I'm gonna say it's bad though. I have not seen it, but go on.
I mean, they use holes in it, so
all right, fair enough.
Yeah, who's ever in charge there? Anyways, yeah, the music here.
Yes.
Tell you a song like Endless, Endlessly. Sorry, my bad. They use like that. I don't know if it's called Sleep Endless Sleep, but that very like classical. Right.
Is that why it's so whimsical?
It is like any other band. It sounds cliche, but like they use it efficiently there, and I'm not burnt out or like, oh, of course you fucking.
That song's a good example of I don't care for the song itself, but I do love everything about it. I do love the textures. I love like the arrangements. I like how it nails everything that they're doing. I just don't care for the writing of it so much. And that's how I feel about a lot of this, where I love how they're doing. I love the orchestral stuff sounds better than ever. It's so natural and ingrained. Just don't care for the writing. Like compared to the last one, the writing there was so unique and spontaneous. Here again, it's just feel a little samey. Some like Opus 40, for example, which I just brought up. That one really bummed me out and disappointed because it's just another Beatles sounding descending progression.
Yeah, that was.
I can go the rest of my life without hearing another fucking descending progression song. There's so many. It was literally half of Elliott Smith's career was descending progressions. Jesus Christ, man.
The only thing that pissed me off was some of the guitar playing on Hudson Line. And I just like so baffled by the choice. I'm just going to play a little bit of it here.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know. It feels so out of left field. I'm sure some people like it though.
I think I might.
Catch the Hudson Line, 'cause you know I love the city, but I haven't got the time.
What the fuck? All right, it's a little tacky. Yeah, I forgot about this. It feels so inappropriate, but whatever. It's gone. It's over.
Yeah, and that's it. I don't think they do it again, but it just stuck out like a sore thumb to me where I'm like, what the fuck?
That's also Grasshopper singing right there.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny because, goddamn, like he's fine, but he's basically just singing like Jonathan.
Yeah.
Like he sings a few more times than in the other albums, but it's always the same kind of, really gentle, not full falsetto the way Jonathan does, but pretty high.
Very cliche of me, but I love the funny bird.
Wait, why is it cliche?
This because it's very psychedelic sounding. It's very like King Crimson.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just like I thought we were done with that kind of psychedelia. I thought we were just on to the wacky, whimsical psychedelia. So like that song really like caught me off guard.
I do like this song. It brings in some darkness, which I did appreciate.
It does.
It's the thing, like I do like it, and I do like a lot of stuff here. I don't love it the way I loved things on the last album, except for Holes, which is amazing, and also Pick Up If You're There is fucking gorgeous. But what's I gonna say? Like, on most songs, and then Funny Bird is another good example. I can pretty much say almost confident, like with utmost confidence, for the next 3 albums, bass lines are gonna be the thing that makes the song.
Sure,
like they're always so fucking. They're so special.
There were bad albums. I don't even know if it's him on all of them, but there were albums where I would like kind of check out on songs, and like the bass lines would pull me back in.
They really back in, dude. They're so groovy, man. They're so good, so good. But yeah, Pick Up If You're There is fucking awesome. It's very spacey and cosmic, yet kind of nostalgic sounding. Another dark and moody one. It's also instrumental. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the closer, which is a Delta Sun Bottleneck Stomp, is Stompy.
It does feel kind of out of place
A little bit.
because the rest is very dreamy, and this is like
Very
a song you like clap your hands.
It's blowing in a jug music.
Yes,
But it is cool. It's fun. It's very fun.
yeah.
And I think it sounds even better following Pick Up If You're There, because that one's so dramatic and like it lulls you way down.
Yeah.
There's no vocals. It's just gonna fucking depress the fuck out of you for a while, and then bam, they're back and clapping. They're back and clapping.
Also, Goddess on a Highway was originally a Flaming Lips song, but they decided to take it and use it here. So it was just kind of sitting around, and Dave Fridmann's like, we should use it here.
Interesting. So that main riff of that song, I really hate it. I really hate that main riff. But the chorus is so strong, especially with those bass lines, turns the whole thing around. Like, I'll forgive so much stuff if I feel like they're trying, because like you can do a lot with a generic riff. Honestly,
I will say, with the exception of one album, even if I don't like certain things, I never feel like this band's not trying.
Oh yeah,
because yes, we've dealt with bands where I'm like, you guys clearly didn't give one iota of fucks on this album.
Yeah,
I never got that from this band.
No. These dudes are clearly very genuine. And it's a good album. It's not that this is a bad album in any way. I think it is a good album. But the fact that this one hit while the last one didn't is why I just don't. Me and the world are always going to be like this. It's never going to fucking line up. I just don't understand.
Just ships passing in the night.
Yeah. Oh well. Let's hope they do. I don't know. I'm just going to put it behind me. Move forward. Because we got some more.
We still have quite a bit more.
A lot more actually. But we are in the 21st century now, everybody. This is 2001's All Is Dream.
Listen to the Walker Brothers.
Oh, I know. This is a little dramatic.
This would be their last with Fridmann, right?
No. Well, the last with Fridmann as a touring member.
Okay.
He plays bass on a few more albums. A lot more, actually.
I dreamed of you on my farm.
I hate this.
I dreamed of you in my arms. But dreams are
His voice
always wrong.
is just... It's a style, all right? That's all it is. I don't care for the
It's a
style.
style him and Wayne Cohen are like, we're both going in on.
Lose you.
Yeah.
My dreams are
My real problem is honestly the piano line. It's just a fucking Beatles knockoff. Or Lennon knockoff, whatever.
and now the creek is
But with worse vocals.
I think I don't know. The strings on this song.
Strings are gorgeous.
Yeah.
They're fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I love those big, dramatic.
I always dreamed of big crowds, plumes of smoke and high.
I do respect where the song goes, and there's a lot of epicness that gets built up. I just don't like the foundation. I like the way it's written.
So
It is so orchestral.
yeah.
All right, we should start moving a little faster, but
Yeah. Okay. So this really caught me off guard. I don't even think this is a flawless album, but I think it's their best.
you're out of your fucking what?
I think
this
it's
one?
I
I don't think it's a bad album at all, but
there's just so many things that work for me here. Like
whoa.
yeah, I like that first song a lot.
There's a few more that I would give best to, but it's not this one.
I really like Tides of the Moon right after.
That's a great song.
Yeah,
And all those fucking bass lines.
again, yeah. Like also it feels like the band has like obviously made a decision to move away from like guitar driven things.
Yeah.
Like the guitars on there are just so good. And then like fucking and then it just gets me with Chains and Lincoln Eyes. Like Chains is like this thing is really beautiful.
It rules. The song rules.
Yeah.
It's like Jonathan is so falsetto there. He's so
Yeah.
I think in general this album is the point of deal breaker or not. Like this is where you cannot ignore his voice anymore. Is his voice a deal breaker or not?
Yeah.
That's basically what this album asks.
Yeah, I think maybe because I'm a bigger like Flaming Lips fan than you, where I'm just like I'm accustomed to it,
Yeah.
and I think the music and the songwriting is just so
I agree. I think
strong on here. I can't.
I think well, at least for me, the music like it's not a deal breaker.
Yeah.
I don't like his voice, but I'll tolerate it because Change is amazing and fantastic writing. And again, those damn bitchin' bass lines, dude, they just won't stop. They won't stop. I think it's my favorite song on the album. Like honestly, I do love that song. And the strings there are fucking incredible.
And yeah, like Lincoln Eyes, I love the big like arena rock, like 70s arena rock feel it has to it, just like a big like psychedelic song.
And to go back on what I just said, that's a song where Jonathan's vocals do not work for me, and I can't handle the song because of his vocals.
You're crazy. It's a great song. The things I don't like. A Drop in Time.
You don't like one?
No, I hate that.
I actually do like that one.
That dainty, jaunty musical shit it's doing there.
It's whimsical and fairy tale like, sure, but I like the pizzicato strings.
Oh no. I do think that song fares better once the like percussion and drums come in. It's a little more tolerable for me. And then Night and Fog and Little Rhymes, those are just it feels too like cut and dry indie rock for me.
It's funny how you're just naming songs that I also like, and it's your best.
Yeah. No, those three songs to me are like arguably weak, but the rest of the album I'm just like so enamored by.
I get the argument for Little Rhymes being weaker because I don't love it. I can't say I hate it though. There's just something soothing about it. And of course, like the bass lines are great everywhere, but there's just something about it that I can't really defend or explain. Night and Fog, I do like it a lot. Those drums are fucking mad satisfying.
Yeah.
And I mean, the production is only getting better with each album at this point, but everything feels so full and powerful.
And then, yeah, fucking Hercules. It's just masterful. I think it's like one of their best songs.
I disagree. I think it's a good closer. It feels big and epic. I think it's really cool when it gets going. It takes 5 minutes to get going, by the way.
Oh, it does. Yeah, it totally does.
I think they've done better in that style. And it's not that it's a bad song. It's just like, I
think like Hercules, like that is the band. That song is I don't know. I just like.
I couldn't tell you if I liked this one more than the last one. because I think I might. I think I do like this one more than the last one.
Yeah.
Because it feels like you said, everything's in twos. It feels like the last one.
No, it does feel like
but bigger and more diverse.
Yeah, it's not as dark as the last song that has a very like heavy feel to it, but it's just those opening four or five songs, I forget how much it is, and then closing it with Hercules and oh man, like You're My Queen. This is like has some energy to it. I just think it's a cool album.
Well, fair enough. And that's all we ask is you be honest with us.
That's all I can do. That's one of the only commodities I have. I'm not rich, so
You'll be honest.
all I got is my honesty. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I wasn't expecting that. I bet no one was expecting that.
I wasn't. Yeah, like I said, I didn't really know where my feelings lied until I was like, okay, I got to make these choices. And going back on those like was like a third listen band for me.
Yeah.
I had to really sort that out.
Well, that's just the way it goes sometimes.
That's just the way it is.
Things will never be the same. So Alex is best, but we got some more, and we're not done with the good shit. In my opinion, which makes me feel pretty good that honestly this band is actually a very good band.
Yes.
It's just we'll talk about it, but it's just things. It's toward the end. It's just they're a good band. All right, this is 2005's The Secret Migration.
And this is the album that I think this got bad reviews.
It did, and I'm angry once again.
I don't
Because I really, really like it.
It's a good album.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a good album.
This song, those bass lines. All right, stop talking. So groovy. One of the grooviest things they've done at this point.
On my notes on this song, I was like, how does their production just keeps getting better?
Yep. This is the first time in a while where the drums felt in control.
Yeah, it's like really in the pocket here.
I told you where we're going, girl. We're all for a
And those fucking bass lines. Like, it's still Dave on bass, but he's just not in the band anymore. And those pianos, that's total Levin era Nick Cave.
Okay.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, a song like this, the bass line shouldn't be this good.
Oh, I know. Exactly.
Yeah.
and take you back home where you belong.
I don't want to lower it, but we gotta move on.
Yeah.
Fucking this album is where I literally had to write in my notes that the world is fucking retarded. How dare you not like this album too? This was almost best. This was very close to being best.
I had thoughts and feelings about giving it some accolades there, but yeah,
It's so fucking the production here might be my favorite out of all their albums.
Yeah.
It's so fucking fat and so it's fulfilling, dude. I feel like I just ate a nice big meal. It's delicious. I love it.
that's a great way to describe it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it on Diamonds, but I saw John Lennon got credited some songwriting credits
really?
there.
Really?
And I'm like, I didn't hear any Lucy in the Sky, and I'm assuming that's what they pulled from.
Maybe I didn't catch that either.
And yeah, I went back, I listened to it. I'm like, I don't fucking hear it. Maybe they pulled some lyrics and I'm just stupid. But yeah,
Maybe that's actually
it's a good ass song though.
It's one of my less favorite songs
Really?
on the albums. So I don't even mind whatever the hell the similarities might have been. But
Black Forest though.
Black Forest. Wait, which one's Black Forest?
Or did I write things down wrong? Now I'm like
Perhaps. Maybe I didn't write it down. We're gonna find out in 3, 2, 1. Oh no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
after
right.
Diamonds.
Yeah. Fucking yeah. I just missed it. Lorelei.
I'm gonna say Lorelei. I like the way Lorelei.
Lorelei is a better word, but the EI makes me think it's Lorelei. Black Forest. We're just gonna go Black Forest.
Yeah.
Anyway, goddamn, the song is great. Another example of just how much better the production is here then well, it's not that it's that much better than the rest. It's just exceptional. And I think I'm not going to make any bold claims, but this might be, in terms of bass lines, the where it's at, like the king of all Dave bass lines.
I think you're right.
It's phenomenal.
Going through my notes, I didn't even realize right now how much I wrote. I wrote the bass line like 100 times for this. Yeah,
for sure. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's so goddamn. You get some high energy drama with Vermilion.
Oh man, that song's so good. Like, yeah.
Also, was it I feel like in a funny way really makes me think of like there's a lot of 60s in it, but it really reminds me of like Walker Brothers or even like Roy Orbison style drums with like the big bombastic kind of Western sounding drums.
Yeah, this may even be like the best drumming too, because like a song like Arise, like that drummer.
Fuck yeah, dude.
The drummer's doing work on that song. And it's good.
Who is it? Because on the person, this is one of the only albums where they don't say which member does which instruments.
Yeah.
Instead of like 1,000 per member, which is usually the case. So is it Jeff Marcel?
You might have to go to Discogs or something to hash this out.
Damn.
I will say that there is stuff like Into the Wilderness where it's like this big wall of sound, whimsical indie folk thing that I feel like bands like Coldplay and like Arcade Fire would do, but also they were around at that time too. So
yeah, that's I think my other weakest song on this album. There's only 2 songs I don't care for. That one and Diamonds. Again, it's not bad. Nothing, like at this point in the career, I don't think they've done anything bad. Like there's no songs I hate. Really?
Yeah, there's nothing that makes me want to like tear my hair out.
Nah, I mean, except for the production on the first album, which literally just hurts. But
you know what was kind of frustrating? Moving. I like that song.
Moving On.
Oh yeah. And it's like over before you know it.
It's so pretty. It's so spacey. It's over immediately. And it's one of the ones where like, come on.
I feel like that could be a whole song.
I felt like that recently. This is so unrelated. It's just a similar situation where I was for fun listening to the Midsummer soundtrack because I love it. It's also Bobby Kurlick, the guy from the Hacks and Cloak, who did it. Also did the soundtrack for Returnal, the game Returnal.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And it's a fucking incredible soundtrack. I think it's one of the best. I think it's probably the best horror soundtrack ever made, in my opinion. But there's one track on there where it's a fully fleshed out piece. It's like 3.5 minutes. And it's so goddamn breathtakingly gorgeous. And it ends right when you feel it can like expand and elaborate and get bigger. It just ends. It's like, no, my body craves more. I need more, baby. Why?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? That's how I feel about this.
Yeah. That's
I really, really love My Love. It's like super sweet and pretty, but the rhythm section is just so powerful. We need more sweet with powerful rhythm sections.
This is kind of an outlier where if like that was a Family Feud category, it's this album and I don't know what else.
Nothing. No, maybe not nothing, but I couldn't think of it. Fantastic. Yeah. Really, the only thing that kept this from being best was just how incredible See on the Other Side was for me. Like just how flawless and like beautifully paced it is. Otherwise, this would be a shoe-in for best.
I really like the way it sounds. I think it's a strong album, but in terms of like the way songs stick with me, obviously
the last one, All's Dream.
Yeah.
So when I made that I said that quote that Jonathan said about fans not liking it so much, I was wrong. It was about this album, not that one.
Oh, okay.
I knew it was for an album that I loved. So the quote from Jonathan says, quote, and when Secret Migration came out, I felt it didn't quite resonate with people that way. I think people were much more connected to an expansive musical element in Mercury Rev than even I had thought. Okay, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Sorry. And so the 3-minute songs seemed to almost be a bit abrasive to many people, when for us it was a 3-minute song. It was something we really only dabbled in some arcane way, but when it came out, it seemed it didn't find a home in many people's arms. Some people it did. I still feel to this day there's some very strong songs on here, but you'd probably be a little hard pressed to find a number of people who felt that way. That's the quote, and that's insane to me. Like,
Here's two people right here.
Two people right here, okay? I mean, it's fucking really good. Come on, man. Just give it a shot, please. All right.
This like hearing you read that, like the song length, I didn't even think about.
Once.
I was just having a good time with it.
That's one thing I also didn't even pick up on until reading him talk about it was that this album was changing things up in a way. It was like them going more accessible, simpler, less psychedelic and big.
It's still there for me
because they also don't feel like they have long songs when they have long songs for the most part. Like their 7-minute songs overall usually don't feel like boring, long, dragging on kind of things.
Sure.
Because there's so many things happening. So you shorten it, you just end up with and there's not, it's still the same length of album. So it's a 44-minute album. There's just more songs on it. It feels like a seamless transition. I feel fuck yourself if you didn't like this album. I don't know what to tell you. All right, but moving on. We got a few more. And this is the album where things start to get a little bit messy because this next album is coupled with another album that we'll also talk about. But anyway, we'll get into it. This is 2008's Snowflake Midnight.
Snowflake in a hot world.
I do
Don't let them get.
hate that vocal line, but
Don't let them tell.
you gotta let the song kick in. You gotta let the song kick in.
You're all the same.
Especially if you've never heard this album prior to hearing the rest of the albums. Like if you listen to it chronologically the way we did,
Yeah.
this is a shift.
Yeah. You,
Didn't see this coming.
Snowflake in a hot world.
I think I hate that lyric too.
Stuff like in a hot world.
Yeah.
It's a bad lyric.
Yeah.
It's a bad lyric.
Too frozen to feel.
Because aside from like some beep boops, it feels mostly Mercury Rev as we know them.
So real.
When I heard those beat boops, I'm like, are they gonna go more electronic?
To something
And they do.
Oh, they do.
I like the idea of this song more than I like this song.
I thought I didn't like this song, and then the second I was like, this is a good song. Like, again, just kind of like blocking out his voice for a second. Those backups, that's super ELO sounding.
Yeah.
These arrangements are spectacular. And, incredible and completely unpredictable arrangements in the song.
I do like me some like fuzzy bass like this.
Snowflake in a hot world.
They've never sounded like this. Just that rhythm section alone, which is electronic, but
Yeah.
the drivingness of it is unlike anything they've done before. This is a very unusual album.
Yes, this is a like, a whimsical, for the most part, a psychedelical band that's like really doubling down on electronic stuff here.
Fully going hard on the electronic. And first listen, I was like, this is interesting. This is different. It's not bad. I don't know if I love it. Second listen, I was like, this could have been best. This could have been best.
Interesting.
I think it's that good.
there is some stuff going on here. I think I was interested with that song, but I think the song after Butterfly's Wing works a little better
It
for
is
me.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is fantastic. It's simple, but the main melody is so well done. So goddamn well done. And then there's like a lot of where it makes everything sound like an old radio, certain parts toward the end, and then slowly brings it back into like the big, loud, full production. And there's something about especially on that song, the electronic elements really feel late 90s, early 2000s, where it's kind of cheesy, it's kind of goofy and a little dated, but it still works. It's still well written enough to kind of overlook.
I think the electronic stuff works. It's not like the band Air good, but
I have no comment because I haven't heard them.
Oh, you've heard some of their songs.
I have heard some of their songs recorded.
Yeah, I'll play you the hits after this. I like a song like People Are So Unpredictable, where they're somehow able to smash this genre of prog rock with electronic.
Yeah.
And
It's wild.
yeah. It doesn't annoy me the way like Porcupine Tree does.
Porcupine Tree is talentless. This band is fucking great. That song is some of the craziest, not just craziest structures on this album, craziest structures they've ever done.
And music.
Like I feel like they haven't even gone that proggy before. Like that's it, and to do it with this crazy electronic element, it's a bold move, and I think they pull it off. I think it's a very impressive track.
I think there's like a few filler tracks on here, like October Sunshine.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's how you do a filler track.
Yes.
That is how you do a filler track.
It is all edgy, atmospheric ambience, and it's beautiful.
It's not boring. Yeah,
it's not boring. It's short. Also, it's meant to be like, all right, just glide it on. Just fly over this one.
Nailed it.
And then back to fucking Runaway Raindrop, which is super strange. By the way,
that one feels a little more like industrial metal, like they were listening to some like Ministry.
It is so odd because you get this really pretty somber vocals and melodies, and then this angry dissonant ugly synth notes just on top of it. Like the whole, like they did two different songs just mashed together.
It's not like the song sounds like industrial metal, but the instruments they use, it's like, oh, those were like left over from like Ministry and Nine Inch Nails or something.
I think the only song I kind of don't care for is Dream of a Young Girl as a Flower, which it leans in real heavy to the techno. It's not even bad. It's just pretty. It's 8 minutes, and a lot of it is ambience and spaciness.
I like it. There's some backing vocals on there that reminds me of the Akira score.
Really?
When they, like those like vocals they use when like the creepy kids.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Oh man, I should have time stamped it, but yeah, it's just like anything that kind of like reminds me of that Akira score will warm my heart a little.
Shit. It's a good ass movie.
Yeah.
It's still pretty good, and when the drums come in, it fucking rips. Like it has a lot of great moments. It's just there's a lot of space in between each moment for me.
And then do we want to talk about how this has like an accompany album?
That's basically our next album because we could talk about it here, but it has its own title, and it's also 42 minutes.
It is.
It's like it's a separate album that happened to be
free with purchase.
Yeah. But anyway, this one's fucking great. It's a wild departure. It is some of the strangest songs they've ever written, in addition to it being hyper electronic.
Mm-hmm.
Very good stuff. But yeah, moving on. This is released the exact same time. Accompanying album, like we just said. Yeah, here we go. This is a Strange Attractor.
So I was listening to this at a certain point, and there's not really much information about this. I was like, is this album supposed to be... I don't think it is, though. I may be stretching. Is this supposed to be like a Zyrika thing where you're supposed to play it
at the same time? I don't think so.
I don't think so. But yeah, there's this all instrumental.
Yeah, this entire thing is instrumental. So mostly ambient, but not a lot of stuff to grab onto, but not full traditional songs.
Yes.
Like this, I think is gorgeous.
This is like Trent Reznor scoring like a David Fincher movie.
It's beautiful and kind of haunting. And then I think this track is a little lengthier.
Yeah.
Around 4 minutes in, electronic drums come in and it changes up the feel entirely. And this, again, like you said, like if you soundtrack written all over it, this feels it would be great for a soundtrack. But for our purposes, we got to move a little bit quicker.
Yes.
This, on first listen, I was confused and baffled and bothered. On second listen, I was like, this is how you do this kind of album.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just putting out a fucking ambient thing where it's obviously instrumental, it's going to be more on the mood side, and for background purposes, not really like an album. There's a lot of really, really interesting stuff here. If you're trying to sit down to listen to it as an album, you're gonna fucking fall asleep.
It's a little hard to grapple with the songs on here, but yeah, this is like them indulging in a darker, even sometimes like trip hop, slower, like persistence and whatever. I think my thing auto corrected on me. Let me pull up what song I'm talking about.
Oh, Persistence of the Apis mellifera.
Yes.
Mellifera.
Yes, like that was one of the like standout tracks to me.
I wasn't big on that one, but I think it was entirely because of just at that point I'm already like I need to grab something. I need something. Like there's so much of just this really structureless, floaty kind of sounds here and there with a melody drifting away kind of stuff. Because I do like the first 3 tracks a lot. Like even Pure Joy de la Solitude. It has like some Aphex Twin sounding electronic elements where it's really, fast and like snappy and like almost like a snare sped up really fast. Really dark and sci-fi. It's not really a song, but it's not unpleasant. And then there's still stuff I do like on here. Like one that I think is undeniable regardless if you're into this type of mood.
What's that?
Oh, that's Fable of a Silver Moon, baby.
Dude, that kind of felt like a throwback song.
It feels like a song for one. It's like the only song thing on this album. It's hopeful. It's lovely. It's fucking a minute long, which is annoying because that's another one where I was like, I need this to be longer.
It is hard to like sink your teeth in these songs. They're kind of like over just as you're getting into them,
and some of them are straight up snoozers, like Incident on Abeale Street. Fucking all right. And then by the end of the album, the novelty is completely off, and like I'm just
tired.
I'm tired and like
background music.
Exactly. Focusing on music that's clearly meant to be background music is not something smart ever to do. And it kind of
but yeah, they didn't make people spend money on this album, so good on them.
Fair enough. It is fine for what it is. It's just not a lot of what it is that I feel is. It's not really a lot.
Yes.
It's not,
yes. It's not a meal.
Not a meal. Yeah, exactly. But the next thing we got is a little album.
I'm not even gonna like. Wait, are we doing that?
Oh, we're doing it.
Okay.
It was released. It was under their name.
I thought we were doing this as like a.
Well, we got to talk about it. We have to talk about it. Because
should I even play it?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, this is okay. So this next album, everybody, is a real bitch.
I mean, it's probably going to be over real quick, but yeah.
Yeah, it is going to be over real quick. This was self-released in 2013. It was recorded, I believe, in 2007. There was no information on it. The band doesn't talk about it, but it exists. It's real. It's on the fucking Wikipedia. So we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's streaming. So this is 2013's Inner Autumn Outer Space.
And I'm just going to like fast forward. Even that's not really going to do anything, but. This is the whole album, folks.
It's not just the whole album. It is the only track that is 43 minutes.
Yes.
And it doesn't change much from this.
Yes. I kept waiting for it.
Oh, I waited.
I was doing chores
I waited
around
42
the house.
minutes before my heart was like, okay, I guess it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I was doing chores around the house. And then this kind of ended. I was like, that was it. Because, I'll listen to Sleep's Dope Smoker. So if you want to build some shit up, and the payoff is good.
Fair enough. I think I have to lower it already. Because I listened to this. I'm going to tell you right now. I listened to this album one time.
That's all you have to.
And it was such a disastrous, it's such a disastrous experience.
Yeah.
Because I was in traffic driving home.
Oh, no.
And I was exhausted from not getting a lot of sleep, working a full day.
I'm surprised you didn't fall asleep at the wheel. Sitting
in traffic for an hour and a half with this keeping me company. I was like,
No, you need to make a call there and be like, I'm putting on something good.
I knew and this is one of the reasons I didn't, because there's only one track. I wouldn't be able to find out where I left off because there's only one fucking track on this thing.
Just screenshot it, my good man.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
This album is awful. So by far the worst, if we're going to count this as canon, it is 100% the worst.
100% worst, least favorite. But also this feels like too easy.
Exactly. There's nothing to say. There's nothing to say because it's pure ambience. It is not meant for anything else. We can't analyze something that's not there.
It's weird how strange Attractor is like the free album, and there's more to like get into there.
So much more.
And this is just, I don't know why this fucking exists.
That's the problem, that we can't find out because they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Or at least maybe I just didn't encounter it. But the fact that it's not brought up and there's no, like, even the Discogs is just barren. There's nothing anywhere. Yeah. And it's makes me curious. Like, was
What's
it just
the
like
story here?
Were they just bored and they just threw it out just cause? But this is the thing. There's still pretty moments here, but because it's all in one track, I couldn't tell you where they are. I'm not gonna fucking fast forward this long ass song like to hear this little pretty
it's not worth it. It's nothing is worth. It's not worth listening to.
Absolute worst. And let's just move on. I think that's probably the shortest we've ever talked about an album, but there's nothing to say.
Yeah, there's. All right, yeah. I thought we were just gonna like cliff note that, but all right, yeah.
It's out there, baby. You can try. I mean, honestly, for ambience, it's not bad.
Yeah,
it's not bad. It's great to although the last album is better to meditate to, this one would also be good to meditate to. I mean,
I don't know. I think I can do better.
That's the meanest thing. If I'm going to sit down in silence, not pay attention to something, I can do better than this shit.
I can do better. Yeah.
But anyway, this is the next actual big album. This is 2015's The Light in You.
The cover for this album looks like a fucking young adult novel for some reason.
Yeah.
And that's how I knew.
We were in for some trouble?
Yes.
I knew from the moment those vocals came in.
I feel like the vocals have led me astray and I've like come around, so I wasn't...
It's not the sound of his voice this time. It is what he's singing. It is the actual melody that had me worried.
This is felt. It's not like proper folk music.
No, this doesn't feel like folk at all. This feels like crap. Sorry.
The execution feels folk music to me.
The bass drum with the acoustic guitars, for sure. I get that. But it honestly registers in my brain way more mainstream pop than it does folk.
Ooh, those chimes. Fuck off.
This is horrific.
This feels like, well, like I feel like one of your pet peeves is like trailer movie song
music.
This could easily be on like
the fucking Pine Sol commercial.
Or like the a young adult movie. They've gone full. I forget the fucking band
that I want to compare them to. And fuck, whatever. They've
gone full bad. This album blows. And if we're not counting the last album, this is the worst and my least favorite. And honestly, this is my least favorite regardless. Like, if we're counting the last album, this is still my least favorite. This album is such a devastating blow.
Yes.
And a beautiful discography.
I agree. This is... I thought I was going to be broken well before this album.
Yeah.
And so for this one to do it is like, hey, all right, I'm not in for numerous albums I cannot take. Just a handful.
Just a handful. Yeah, I mean, kind of less than a handful too.
Although, let me say, Central Park East.
You like that one?
I don't know if this is Fridmann playing bass. But
it is not.
The bass.
You like
is
the
good.
bass?
I like the bass on that.
Here's the thing, buddy.
Yeah.
I hate the bass in this album, and that song let me know that it wasn't Dave.
Interesting.
Because who's on bass in this album? His name is Anthony Molina. This guy is not Dave.
Yeah.
He's no Dave. And what I heard was what you hear is a very busy bass line. The bass is going wild in that song, and he is going wild. He's no slouch, but it really shows. It goes to show that it's not how much you're playing; it's what you're playing, and not every person can come up with bass lines that just really open up a song. It made me. I already loved Dave, but this made me fucking miss him because these are busy bass lines. They're groovy. They're always doing something, but they're never doing something that I'm not expecting. They're just busy.
Also, the lyrics were a little too S&G. Simon and Garfunkel. I believe they have like Loneliest Boy in New York City or some sort. And then the lyrics about being like the only boy or something
in Central Park. Yeah.
Like you, Simon and Garfunkel, listening pieces of shit.
Hey, I'm one of those pieces of shit. All right. I do think there are some actually really beautiful elements in Amelie, but the vocals are such a huge detractor. Like up until this point, I never liked them, but I'm always like, I don't care. They're fine because the music is so goddamn good. It's just a thing. It's just a part of it. Here is where no, dude. I spit so much doing that. It's not a terrible song, but I'm not going to go back to it.
The songs that like really like I wanted to punch a wall. Emotional Free Fall. I'm like the whimsy is too goddamn much.
It is officially crossed over into fully cheesy.
I spoke too soon because when I'm like, this is too much whimsy for me, they're like, hey, you want a song that's about being a dolphin? And I feel like we've covered, I can't think of it. I feel like we've covered another band. And it's just like, if you're singing about being a dolphin, it's just too goddamn much for me. Like, it just feels.
Alex is triggered. Alex has officially been triggered.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. This feels so hacky for some reason.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And I say that as someone who likes the Echo the Dolphin games.
So that's different. Dude.
It is different. But like, oh my God, if you're just like, I'm going to be in the perspective of a dolphin, I'm going to sing about how fucking magical it is, and it's going to be amazing. No one is yet to do that.
It's a magical album that is entirely awful.
Yes.
Like, fucking, so the song you're talking about is Coming Up for Air.
Yeah.
And that is another example where like the bass lines just fucking blow. It's just a guy trying to channel what Dave did and just not doing it.
Also, we put over how good like the horn sections have been on other albums. They have no business being that good. The horn sections here are fucking awful. Like,
yeah,
the saxophone. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And now, I hinted at it at the very beginning of the episode about 3 years ago. The bells have officially gone too far.
They've gone too far.
The bells have gone too far. They're on every song. They're all over every song, dude. It's just so fucking much.
This album has one good song. One good song that made the playlist for me.
Even though I did say I only had some moments, I'm not going to put that on the playlist. No, I don't like it enough. Like I think it's fine, but
for me, you want to give me some Sunflower. Give me all the ridiculous cowboy bebop jazz shit.
Sunflower.
I like it.
Sunflower is Ocean's 11's heist music.
Yeah, and it's great. It's like it's a complete outlier.
It's so dorky.
Not just on this album, but in their whole discography.
It is because it's fucking ridiculous. That's why
they never do Cowboy Bebop, heist, Ocean's 11 music again, and I'm for it.
I'm against it, dude. I'm highly against it. I'm boycotting it, dude.
I think they do it well to the point where if they want to venture into that for an album or an EP, I want to hear it.
As long as it keeps them away from the fucking bells, dude. Anything, honestly. Yeah. Oh, shit.
You know, it's not as good as like Cowboy Bebop soundtrack, but it's still pretty fucking good in my opinion.
Last note, and I think it's so bad I can't even explain it. And that is the closer, Rainy Day record. Oh. And it's just completely shattered by the end of this album. Just completely devastated.
Broken.
Yeah. I like... hearing the first song, I'm like, oh, there's no hope. Like, there's no hope anymore. I don't care about a new album. I don't care about the next album after this. It's just no hope.
Your hope was Sunflower.
And I didn't like it. I didn't like that hope. I stepped on that sunflower.
Well, thankfully, the next album is a swerve, much like all their other albums.
It is
swerves.
Yep, it is a left turn. It's another left turn to another strange album, and we gonna talk about it right now. But before that, my least favorite. If we're not counting the last
If
album,
we're not counting, yes,
it's the worst. If we're not counting that weird ambient thing.
and we're not counting. This is my worst, least favorite. I was fed up with the lyrics, with the whimsy, the bells,
Yeah.
everything that's not Sunflower. Get out of my life.
The fact that this was received better
Is insane.
than the
Fucking insane.
not just See You on the Other Side, but fucking Secret Migration also. Like, the world doesn't know shit.
This is
You hear that, world?
This is bottom of the barrel stuff here.
Man, we're going hard, but it's
Someone had to.
someone had to. All right, we got last one, everybody. We're finally here. It's been a long episode. Thank you for hanging with us. This is 2019's Bobbie Gentry's. Or Gentry's. Is it Gentry or Gentry? I'm stupid. I didn't do my research.
I didn't do my.
I think it's Gentry's.
Yeah.
The
I like Gentry.
The Delta Sweete Revisited.
So this is a big ass cover album. A cover album.
A cover of an entire album.
Yes, I
Yeah.
don't know if we've ever done that before.
I don't think so either. No, we definitely haven't. I can't even think of another example.
Flaming Lips covered Dark Side of the Moon. And Sgt. Pepper. We haven't covered it though.
No. Lord, one beat.
We got that new production.
Also, you got a different singer.
Different singer on almost every track.
Every song is a different guest, female vocalist.
I'm a dum and didn't I was just listening to it, writing notes.
Yeah, this is Nora Jones on this song.
I was like, those are some Nora Jones.
Nora Jones ass voice.
She has one album I really like that was produced by Danger Mouse. So
It strikes me as something Danger Mouse would be a part of.
yes, she's one of those much like Jill Scott, where I really like her vocals. She just doesn't do music.
And I think that's going to stay the same for me as well, because I hate this album.
You hate this album.
I hate it. Yeah, I really don't like it. I mean, I don't hate it as much as the last one, that's for sure, but I definitely don't like it.
You're crazy.
Here's the thing. I'm not the right person to talk to you about this. I have no business talking about this album. I don't like the originals. I'm not a fan of this, the Delta Blues.
I never heard the original.
But I've heard a lot of these songs. You've heard a lot of these songs. A lot of people have heard that song. I'm
Not
sure
off
everyone's heard. Everyone's heard Tobacco Road.
Not off the top of my head, I have not.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they're pretty.
Unless
They're pretty
you could,
famous.
point maybe in specific things. I'd be like, oh, okay. But
Well, Tobacco Road is one of those songs that I think I've heard ubiquitous with just ancient, not ancient. Almost said ancient Delta Blues, old Delta Blues, and it's a cool idea. Getting this whole album, taking one album, and then having a different guest female vocalist on every song is a very cool idea. I don't like the execution at all.
I do.
Really?
Yes.
Explain.
Yeah. I thought just doing something more folk and country driven was a nice, felt refreshing to me. I like the performances of a lot of the ladies on here.
Yep.
And and maybe I should listen to the original album after this, but yeah, I had a good time. I liked it as just this. It's almost like a palate refresher. It's not Mercury Rev for what people come for, but I enjoyed it. I think there's some good performances on here. I haven't heard her stuff before, but Margot Price on Sermon, I really liked her.
And you got fucking Marissa Nadler on Refractions.
There you
which
go.
I think was pretty well. I only care for that song and the opener.
Yeah. Oh man. No, Phoebe Bridgers is just she's pretty powerful, and I think she like continues that on Jess Elizabeth.
Oh, Jess Elizabeth.
I don't know what that original song sounds like, but they made that a Phoebe Bridgers ass song, making it very dark and moody.
I don't mind that one. I think it is a pretty song, even though I find the production to be very flimsy. And that's one thing I didn't talk about so much on the last album, is how much I hated the production, where the vocals were the loudest thing, and then it was all the arrangements and flourishes, and then at the very bottom is the rhythm section. Like mixing your rhythm section super quietly is a surefire way to make a bitch ass sounding album. This one is similar because there was so much emphasis on the voices, but also I think one of the main reasons I don't like is it's because it doesn't feel like a Mercury Rev album. Like all the modernness to it just feels like anybody could have done it. Anybody could have produced this, like with this type of production and this type of I don't know, flair.
They don't have their trademark, their trademark sounds on it. I get that.
Because I get doing a covers album, but also, are you doing it as your band? Shouldn't you put your flavor into there?
Yeah, your stamp.
Like, I mean, that's what would make your fans want it more. I feel like just to have something that has you in it. And especially because you don't even have Jonathan singing on any of these songs, it really doesn't feel like the band. It feels like this feels like any regular old fucking covers album or like a tribute album. It feels like any. It really reminds me of Sparkle Horse's last album, which I also fucking hated. Which is guess everywhere, and it all kind of interchangeable. It doesn't really feel like the band at all. I
like that Sparkle Horse album. So yeah, I think that's why it probably worked a little better for me. Big Boss Man, you got fucking gondola guitars on there. I feel like it's been a while since I've got to talk about gondola guitars.
Mandolins. Yeah.
And then like Morning Glory, you get, this is very like that Walker Brothers, like Neil Diamond production on there. So.
I was going to shoot myself on that song. I was dreadfully boring.
Really?
I get it. Like I do see that hitting pretty hard at like a fucking douchey coffee shop where it has that like really chill
coffee shop music
for sure. I hate it, but I get it. Yeah. I just don't. I
had a fun time. I like the performances by the ladies involved.
They're all good. Well, there's only one performance that I think blows, and that I will let you know as soon as I find it because I don't remember the song. And I'm going to keep buying time, baby. I'm going to keep buying time because I fucking can't. Oh my God, I can't find it. Oh my God, who is it? Oh, it's Pendulite Pendulum with Kayla Sinclair and Vashti Bunyan.
I don't know where they're from, but
they're from somewhere that is clearly not a place I can pronounce easily, but I hate their voices. I think it's annoying. It's like it's clearly a stylistic thing. Like they're singing very, very dramatic and breathy. It just bothers me.
Especially when you have Queens of the Darkness, Phoebe and Marissa right after. It's just,
yeah.
And then that's kind of insane. Lucinda Williams is on this, and we just didn't.
Oh, right. Who's she?
She's like a pretty legendary. Like,
I never heard of her.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that one.
Folk musician.
Who? A folk musician. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. My dad would listen to her a lot. So
really?
That's how I know her.
Oh, yeah. She sings, Ode to Billy Joel. That's Billy Joe, not Billy Joel.
Yeah. There's a difference.
Oh, shit. Guess you have to be a big shot.
Let's see. Hope Sandoval do that.
Yeah. Anyway, Alex is all right with it. I'm not. But, if you like these songs aren't bad. They're just not my style. And I don't like the production. It's not really like a terrible album. But I think we're at the end.
We are at the end. We did it.
We made. Oh my God!
Damn thing.
I'm so tired in my voice, and oh my goodness. Oh,
I'm ready.
Shit, Jason. I hope you enjoy this. For the love of God, you better still be watching.
I'm ready to eat some high octane garbage after this because I have not had dinner yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Holy shit! That's a rare one. When you haven't had dinner, I have.
I know.
That's rare. But thank you so much for listening and watching. Let's do a recap. Let's do a recap, baby.
Oh boy. Hold on. I should have pulled up.
I'll do it first. I'll give you some time.
Do yours first.
Best personal favorite. See You on the Other Side. That is criminally underrated. I can't fucking believe what the world did to my boys on that album. It's not fair. Listen to it. And then I guess it's canon. Inner Autumn, Outer Space. It's fucking worse. Absolute worst. It's an ambient album with nothing on it. And I can't imagine why the band doesn't talk about it that much. And The Light in You, least favorite. Technically, Inner Autumn, Outer Space is a worse album. It is a worse album, but I will choose to listen to it every fucking day over The Light in You. You.
So for me, See You on the Other Side, personal favorite, just kind of taken away by the variety on that. To me, their best album, All Is Dream, just some solid ass songs that stuck with me despite some blemishes. And then, Inner Autumn, Outer Space, and The Light in You are this my worst, least favorite. Whatever you want to consider canon, adjust my rankings for that.
Yep. Hell yeah. So thank you all so much for listening and watching. Thank you, Jason, for patronizing and supporting us and letting it possible that we can do these things. We listen to so much fucking music. I don't even do things for me anymore. I haven't done a thing for me. Well, that's not true. I lie. I do plenty of things for me. But still, thank you so much for supporting. It means a lot, and it helps. And we're a slow, tiny little pirate ship here, and we appreciate all the fucking psychos that jump on board because, really, we don't like normal people apparently. But if you want to support us, like the video if you like it. Leave comments, talk shit. You can leave your picks for your best and worst. That's always fun. You can insult us for hours. I mean, you already seem to be doing that anyway. And subscribe if you haven't already. Please subscribe if you haven't already. For the love of Christ, tell a friend. We exist. I know it. You can do what you want. Mercury Rev playlist. You can find a link in the description. We got playlists associated with almost every episode. You can find all those at everyalbumember.com. And for the real deal, baby, for if you want to give us some kind of food and help, patreon.com/everyalbumember. All the bonus episodes, all the knickknacks and paddywhacks. And also, if you're tier 2,
give these dogs a bone.
Please throw us a fucking bone, please. Tier 2 gets to jump the line and actually request artists for us to really cover and put on our schedule because we will do it if you do that. Not if you join it and then request it and then jump off. That's stupid. We're not going to accept a $10 bribe. We're not idiots. Someone tried to do that and it didn't work. We just didn't put it on the list.
Got your $10.
I don't even know that. I don't even know if we did. But that's the thing. Like, if you try to do that, not only will we keep your fucking money, but it's like... It wouldn't work because it takes us months. It takes us months to get to it. So we'll notice if you leave. Like, this is so you stick with us and help us because we need help. We're not just fucking, we're not monkeys. Well, technically my handle is Panda Monkey. So you can follow me on all social media at Panda Monkey. You can follow Alex on Instagram
at Mother Puncher.
Please be sure to follow our history guy, Tom Osman. He does a whole lot of hard work for us and he helps us flesh out these episodes while allowing us to actually have a life in between.
Occasionally, for the more obscure ones, get in direct contact with him, and that is...
Homeboy can get a hold of some of these people, which is
real helpful.
Extremely helpful. So follow him on all Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Tom Osman Sounds. You can follow his Substack at tomosman.substack.com. And, of course, check out his first debut full-length record, So Much for All On Day's Work. You can find that on Spotify, Apple, Bandcamp. There's links in the description for everything. He's a very good songwriter. He's a good dude. He's a smart guy, and he does a lot more work than we do. So support him. Okay, we're at the end.
There we go. So
I don't even know. We got to come together with something.
You want to do Sudden Ray of Hope? I'll see you on the... Because it's going to be something. I'll see you on the other side.
I didn't even think about that.
I could go anywhere with this album, really, if you got something.
Hold on. Let's think about this. All right, because that's
what are you feeling?
Every song is so good. We already put on Racing the Tide. We can't do that. Also, it bleeds right into the song after. And it's like typically 2 songs. But you know what? Sudden Ray Hope isn't a bad idea.
Yeah,
we'll go with that.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Hell yeah! So thank you all so much for listening and watching. See ya.